Hey guys, William with Patriot Containers here again. I had two ideas for videos today. The other video I just posted, or I'm posting right now, and it's how to buy the cheapest cargo container, and how to make the companies beat the crap out of each other. This video, a little different. It's gonna be like quotes, bids, and price matching of what happens when this stuff happens. So when you're dealing with a company like myself that likes to deal with quality used, not cheap junk, and quality new, when I can't be the cheapest because I'm not going to sell you the cheapest junk. So what a lot of these companies are doing is you call them, they're going to give you every sales pitch in the world to make it sound like they're the best thing, and they're always the biggest companies out there. But what they also do is they say, well, when you get a quote from somebody, take a screenshot of it or send it to us and we'll beat that price. But the problem with that is if I'm quoting you a quality container that you actually want, and you ask me for an invoice or a quote, and then you hand it to that other company or send it however they accept it that they want to see it, because they won't take your word for it over the phone. They might, but so if you send them the quote, what's happening though is they might not be selling you the quality of what it is. So when somebody, like let's say a purchaser at a company is calling me and his boss goes, hey, Joe, I need you to call 10 different companies and get 10 different bids. I'm not interested. And I'll tell you why. I sell a service that comes along with selling you a container. I'm going to show up on the right day. I don't sell cheap junk, and I tell people the truth. To me, that's worth something, even though I don't charge people for it. I'm the same price as everybody else. I just don't sell the lower class junk. So a lot of times somebody will go, well, we're just going to buy from whoever gives us the cheapest price. Well, why should I send you a quote then? Or an invoice? I'm just not going to. To me, I'm worth way more than just the stupid price on the piece of paper. But what these companies are doing, though, quotes and bids, but what the companies are doing on the price matching is they're basically saying, okay, get an invoice from Patriot Containers. We know he sells good containers to his customers. We know he provides a real service. We know he has no complaints on his company in 10 years. But get an invoice from that company or from Patriot Containers, send it to us and we'll beat it. Well, guess what you're doing? If you want a good container, I was quoting you one and I was going to deliver you one, but now they're going to tell you the exact same thing of that their containers are better or their containers are better, or it's the same thing, but they're going to reference two different things. Like cargo worthy is good, IICL is good, new one trips are the best. And if you ask me the truth about containers, wind and watertight sucks, as is worse, and damage is the worst. Okay? Some of these companies, they're on their invoice, if you read it, it says wind and watertight cargo worthy. So now it looks like they're going to sell you the same container that I was going to deliver you, cargo worthy, which is a good container, but they're putting wind and watertight. So if they're $300 to $500 cheaper, do you think you're really getting a cargo worthy container? You're not. You're going to get a wind and watertight, and possibly even worse, a damaged or as is container from these companies. So yeah, price matching, it's I don't know how to say it. It's kind of a dirty trick to do, to where it's like, oh, just get a bunch of bids, send them to us, and then we'll beat the price. Yeah, but you don't know if 90% of cargo containers don't do what's right for you as a customer. You're kind of screwing yourself over by doing that. So my recommendation on how to get around that is the company that's asking you to send them a quote, you might want to research all their complaints and see the junk that they sell, see that they take 1 to 3 months to deliver, see that they have cancellation fees, see that they have restocking fees, and look at the containers that they've actually delivered. So if you go to their Yelp, these companies that you guys are talking to, they have a 1-star rating on Yelp because Yelp takes down their fake 5-star reviews. If you go to their Google, so you'll see pictures on Yelp. You will not see pictures on the Better Business Bureau, but the horror stories and complaints are there. These companies that I'm warning you guys, they never ever tell you to go to their Yelp because they know it's horrible. That's why they have like a 1-star rating on Yelp, and it's bad because that's what company they are. So number one, when you're talking to these companies, go to their Yelp first. When you go to their Google pages, you have got to click on their lowest ratings on their Google pages. Read those customer stories of what they've done to those customers, and then you're going to read their bullshit response of how they have to respond to it they twist it and put all the blame on the customer. But if you read the customer's complaint, it's not the customer, it's the company. When you go to their Better Business Bureau, you have to click on their complaints, read the stories. So the customer will file a complaint. The company has to respond to it. If they don't respond to it, it's really bad. So they have to respond, but then the customer can respond to that as well, and they could just keep doing this response. You'll notice like 95% of the time, it never says resolved on Better Business Bureau. It only says responded, I think it says, which means it's not resolved. And then you're going to read that every customer, not everyone, but 95% of them, it says, I am rejecting this answer or response from the business. I'm uploading this video, but yeah, guys, quotes, bids, price matching. I don't do bids unless I tell people, look, if you believe in with what I'm saying, here's my price. I'll send you an invoice when you're ready to buy, but I will not send people invoices if you're just shopping around buying from whoever's the cheapest. If you want the cheapest price, go watch the video I just uploaded right now on how to buy the cheapest container. And that gives you the perfect instructions on how to let these companies pull down their pants, and who is the most desperate company to sell you the cheapest product. Now, I understand that some of you purchasers that work for companies, you have a boss that is telling you you need to find the cheapest person to sell you the cheapest container. And that's what your job is to do. But if you do that and they deliver you an old, rusty piece of junk container, that boss is going to be angry with you because you did all the searching. And I've had situations like that happen 10 years ago when I started my business, and I used to sell cheap containers, not because I wanted to, it's because they demanded a cheap container. And sure enough, we deliver a cheap container, and the customer calls back, hey, my boss doesn't like it, what do we do? And it's just, everybody that buys cheap junk, it's like a 90% ratio of them complaining about the way it looks. You know, here's a great philosophy. Let's say I sold you a 20-foot container that is completely covered in rust. There's no holes and the door's shut. You're probably going to be pissed off. But if I deliver you a brand new one for the same price and it has a hole this big in it, you're going to keep the container, which is the exact opposite of what you wanted. You wanted a cheap container with no holes. But a cheap container with no holes, 95% of the time, it's going to be a horrible container. But if I delivered you a brand new one with a hole in it, you would keep it. So anyways, that's it, guys. Price matching, not always the best thing to do. Just read these companies' complaints. That's what If they say they have a warranty, if they say they have cancellation fees, restocking fees, money back guarantees with a return policy, just read their complaints, and it's going to say that everything that they're telling you prior to your sale is almost a lie. So anyways, guys, that's it. 2 videos today. Have a great day. Bye.